for you. You see, kids, when you open a book, it can take you to places you've never seen. Magical places. Okay.
Welcome to my stream, everybody. Well, we bitch about coworkers and talk dirty about people we don't know,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes people and sometimes about people we do know. Who knows?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is very, very true. And welcome in, everybody. The library is now open for business. Get my thing going here. Just check and make sure it's all lined up and ready. Since we had the kerfuffle, yesterday, I am opting to do sort of a cozy atmospheric background noise today. But besides that, it is going to be list of the time. And of course, after that, we're going to do some demo stuff, and not demolition. Yes, or no, that is the library. Hey, the way, how you doing? Welcome in, welcome in. Glad to see you. Hope you're doing all right today. Today is Wednesday. You usually do reading time on Wednesday. Yes, I do live readings on stream for cozy and fun. Yay, okay, that got done. I actually was downloading a new demo today. And when I mean by demo work, I don't mean like demolition. I mean like as in game demos, trying things out for the folks at home so they don't have to, that kind of thing. Also to kind of give my take on it, being a cozy streamer and all. And cozy is not all I do. I actually do some multiplayer stuff from time to time. Usually that will be more of a weekend thing, given the fact that most of my folks that I usually run with work a day job, just like myself. So, but anyhow, to get this started correctly, welcome to Storytime with Cyn. Just a quick PSA. All blurps and other sound alerts are disabled on this screen, so hold your blurp money, your raven feathers, and what have you, for when we shift over to game mode. And please refrain from any follows or resubs and things of that nature to kind of help in the flow of things. Also, can't be helped if somebody raids out to us. Wolf did that to me once. It was actually pretty funny. The good news is I was actually winding down, which was a good thing. I was like, oh, let me hold up. And so now is the time I know it's kind of warm weather when most people are. If it's not, and you're fortunate enough to be in cooler weather, grab your favorite blanket, your favorite warm beverage, and cuddle up to the speakers, headphones, or whatever you may be using at this time. So you may get comfy. For those of us in the more warmer climes, pull you up a fan and fake it. It's hot as balls out there, ladies and gentlemen, but you could still be cozy in 90-degree weather if you turn the AC up high enough. Anyhow, today we are starting a brand new book by Jim Butcher. It is still in the Harry Dresden series. It is called Death Masks. And so we shall begin at the beginning. If you have any questions, comments, or anything of that nature, please feel free to talk in the chat. Lurkers are most definitely welcome. And shall we begin? In memory of Pluticon and Ursha, fallen heroes. Chapter 1. Some things aren't meant to go together. Things like oil and water, orange juice and toothpaste. Wizards and television. Spotlights glared into my eyes. The heat of them threatened to make me sweat streaks through the pancake makeup some hairy stagehand slapped on me a few minutes before lights on top of cameras started winking on. The talk show theme song began to play. The studio audience began to chant, Larry, Larry, Larry. Larry Fowler, a short man in an immaculate suit, appeared from the doors to the rear of the studio and began walking to the stage, flashing his porcelain smile and shaking the hands of a dozen people seated at the ends of their rows as he passed them. The audience whistled and cheered as he did. The noise made me flinch in my seat upon the stage, and I felt a trickle of sweat slide down over my ribs beneath my white dress shirt and my jacket. I briefly considered running away screaming. It isn't like I have stage fright or anything, see, because I don't. It was just really hot up there. I licked my lips and shaked all the fire exits just to be safe. No telling when you might need to make a speedy exit. The lights and noise made it a little difficult to keep up my concentration, and I felt the spell I'd woven around me wobble. I closed my eyes for a second till I had it stabilized again. In the chair beside me sat a dumpy, balding man in his late 40s, dressed in a suit that looked a lot better than mine. Mortimer Lindquist waited calmly, a polite smile on his face, but muttered out of the corner of his mouth, "You okay?" I've been in house fires. I like better than this. Hey, you asked for this meeting, not me, Mortimer said. He frowned as Fowler lingered over shaking a young woman's hand. Shuggoes. Think this will take long? I asked Morty. He glanced beside him at an empty chair and another beside me. 2 mystery guests. I guess this one could go for a while. They shoot extra material and down to the best parts. I sighed. I had been on the Larry Fowler show just after I'd gone into business as an investigator. It had been a mistake. I'd had to fight my way uphill against the tide of infamy I'd received from association with the show. What'd you find out? I asked. Mort flicked a nervous glance at me and said, Not much. Come on, Mort. He opened his mouth to answer and then glanced up as Larry Fowler trotted upstairs and onto the stage. Not now. Wait for a commercial break. Larry Fowler pranced up to us and pumped my hand in Mort's with equally exaggerated enthusiasm. Welcome to the show, he said in the handheld microphone, and then turned to face the nearest camera. On topic for today is witchcraft and wizardry, phony or fabulous. With us, in order to share their views, are local medium and psychic counselor Mortimer Lindquist. The crowd applauded politely. And beside him, Harry Dresden, Chicago's only professional wizard. There was a round of snickering laughter to go with the applause this time. I couldn't say I was shocked. People don't believe in the supernatural these days. Supernatural things are scary, and it's much more comfortable to rest secure in the knowledge that no one can reach out with magic and quietly kill you, that vampires exist only in movies, and that demons are mere psychological dysfunctions. Completely inaccurate, but much more comforting. Despite the relative levels of denial, my face heated up. I hate it when people laugh at me. An old quiet hurt mixed in with my nervousness, and I struggled to maintain the suppression spell. Yes, I said spell. See, I really am a wizard. I do magic. I've run into vampires and demons and a lot of things in between, and I've got the scars to show for it. The problem was that technology doesn't seem to enjoy coexisting with magic. When I'm around, computers crash, light bulbs burn out, and car alarms start screaming and warbling drunken voices for no good reason. I'd worked out a spell to suppress the magic I carried with me, at least temporarily, so that I might at least have a chance to keep from blowing out the studio lights and cameras or setting up the fire alarms. It was a delicate stuff in it by its very nature, and extremely difficult for me to hold in place. So far, so good, but I saw the nearest cameraman wince and jerk his headset away from his ear. Whining feedback sounded tinily from the headset. I closed my eyes and reined in my discomfort and embarrassment, focusing on the spell. The feedback died away. Well, then, Larry said after half a minute of happy talk, Morty, you've been a guest on the show several times now. Would you care to tell us a little bit about what you do? Mortimer widened his eyes and whispered, The audience laughed. But seriously, mostly I conduct seances, Larry. Mortimer said, I do what I can to help those who have lost a loved one or who need to contact them in the beyond in order to resolve issues left undone back here on Earth. I also offer prediction service in order to help clients make decisions on upcoming issues and to try to warn them against possible danger. Really? Larry said. Could you give us a demonstration? Really? Mortimer closed his eyes and rested the fingertips on his right hand on the spot between his eyes. Then in a hollow voice he said, The spirits tell me that 2 more guests will soon arrive. The audience laughed, and Mortimer nodded at them with an easy grin. He knew how to play to a crowd. Larry gave Mortimer a tolerant smile. And why are you here today? Larry, I just want to try and raise public awareness about the realm of the psychic and paranormal. Nearly 80% of a recent survey of American adults say they believe in the existence of spirits of the dead and in ghosts. I just want to help people understand that they do exist and that there are other people out there who have had strange and inexplicable encounters with them. Thank you, Morty. And Harry, may I call you Harry? Sure, it's your nickel, I responded. Larry's smile got a shade brittle. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do? I'm a wizard, I said. I find lost articles, investigate paranormal occurrences, and train people who find themselves struggling with a sudden development of their own abilities. Isn't it true that you also consult for the Special Investigations Department of the Chicago PD? Occasionally, I said. I wanted to avoid talking about SI if I could. The last thing the CPD would want was to be advertised on the Larry Fowler show. Many police departments across the country employ such consultants when all the leads have failed. And why are you here today? Because I'm broke and your producer is paying double my standard fee. The crowd laughed again more warmly. Larry Fowler's eyes flashed with an impatient look behind his glasses, and with his smile turned into a gnashing of teeth. No, really, Harry, why? For the same reasons as Morty here, I answered, which was true. I did come here to meet Morton and get some information from him. He'd come here to meet me because he refused to be seen near me on the street. I guess you could say I don't have the safest reputation in the world. And you claim to be able to do magic, Larry said. Yeah. Could you show us? Larry prompted. I could, Larry, but I don't think it's practical. Larry nodded and gave the audience a wise look. And why is that? Because it would probably wreck your studio equipment. Of course, Larry said. He winked to the audience. Well, we wouldn't want that, would we? There was more laughter and a few cat calls from the crowd. Passages from Carrie and Firestarter sprang to mind, but I restrained myself and maintained the suppression spell. Master of self-discipline, that's me. But I gave the fire door beside the stage another longing look. Larry carried on the top part of the talk show, discussing crystals and ESP and tarot cards. Mort did most of the talking. I chimed in with monosyllables from time to time. After several minutes of this, Larry said, we'll be right back after these announcements. Stagehands held up signs that read applause, and cameras panned and zoomed over the audience as they whistled and hooted. Larry gave me an annoyed look and strode off stage. In the wings, he started tearing into a makeup girl about his hair. I leaned over to Mort and said, okay, what'd you find out? The dumpy ectomancer shook his head. Nothing concrete. I'm still getting back into the swing of things and contacting the dead. Even so, you've got more contacts in this area than I do, I said. My sources don't keep close track of who has or who hasn't died lately, so I'll take whatever I get. Is she at least still alive? He nodded. She's alive, that much I know. She's in Peru. Peru? It came as a vast relief to hear she wasn't dead, but what the hell was Susan doing in Peru? That's Red Court territory. Some, Mort agreed, though most of them are in Brazil and the Yucatan. I tried to find out exactly where she was, but I was blocked. By who? Mort shrugged. No way for me to tell. I'm sorry. I shook my hand. No, it's okay. Thanks, Mort. I settled back in my seat, mulling over the news. Susan Rodriguez was a reporter for a regional yellow paper called the Midwestern Arcane. She had grown interested in me just after I opened my practice, hounding me relentlessly to find more about things that go bump in the night. We'd gotten involved in our first date. She wound up lying naked on the ground in a thunderstorm while lightning cooked like a toad-like demon to gooey bits. After that, she parlayed a couple of encounters with things from my cases into a widespread syndicated column. A couple of years later, she wound up following me to a nest of vampires holding a big to-do. Despite all my warnings to the contrary, a noble of the Red Court of Vampires had grabbed her and began the transformation from mortal to vampire on her. It was payback for something I'd done. The vampire noble in question thought that her standing in the Red Court made her untouchable, that I wouldn't want to start trouble with the entire court. She told me that if I fought to take Susan back, I'd be starting a worldwide war between the White Council of Wizards and the vampires' Red Court, which I did. The vampires hadn't forgiven me for taking Susan back from them, probably because a bunch of them, including one of their nobility, had been incinerated in the process. That's why Morton didn't want to be seen with me. He wasn't involved in the war, and he tended to keep it that way. In any case, Susan hadn't gone all the way through her transformation, but the vamps had given her their bloodthirst, and if she ever gave in to it, she'd become one of the Red Court. I asked her to marry me, promising her that I'd find a way to restore her humanity. She turned me down and left town, trying to sort things on her own, I guess. I still keep trying to find a way to remove her affliction, but I'd received only a card and a postcard or 3 from her since she'd left. 2 weeks ago, her editor had called to say that the column she'd usually send if the arcane was late, and asked if I knew how to get in touch with her. I hadn't. So I started looking. I got zipped and went to Mort Lindquist to see if his contacts in the spirit world would pay off better than mine. I hadn't gotten much, but at least she was alive. The muscles in my back had clenched a little. I looked up to see Larry come back on stage to his theme music. Speakers squealed and squelched when he started to talk, and I realized I'd let my control slip again. The suppression spell was a hell of a lot harder than I thought it would be, and getting harder by the minute. I tried to focus, and the speakers quieted to the occasional fitful pop. Welcome back to the show, Larry told the camera. Today, we're speaking with practitioners of the paranormal who are here to share their views with the studio audience and our viewers at home. In order to explore these issues further, I have asked a couple of experts with opposing viewpoints to join us today, and here they are. The audience applauded as a pair of men emerged from either side of the stage. The first man sat down in the chair by Morty. He was a little over average height and thin, his skin burned into tan leather by the sun. He might have been anywhere between 40 and 60. His hair was gray and neatly cut. He wore a black suit with a white clerical collar, sharing space with a rosary and crucifix at his throat. He smiled and nodded to Morton and shook hands with Larry. Larry said, allow me to introduce Father Vincent, who has come all the way from the Vatican to be with us today. He's a leading scholar and researcher within the Catholic Church on the subject of witchcraft and magic, both historically and from a psychological perspective. Father, welcome to the show. Vincent's voice was a little rough, but he spoke English with the kind of cultured accent that seemed to indicate expected education. Thank you, Larry. I'm very pleased to be here. I looked from Father Vincent to the second man who had settled in the chair beside me, just as Larry said, and from the University of Brazil de Rio de Janeiro, please welcome Dr. Paulo Ortega, world-renowned researcher and debunker of the supernatural. Oh, Lord, you gotta love these guys. Larry started saying something else, but I didn't hear him. I just stared at the man beside me as recognition dawned. He was of average height and slightly heavy build, with broad shoulders and a deep chest. He was dark complected, his black hair neatly brushed, and his graying silver suit stylish and tasteful. And he was a Duke of the Red Court. An ancient and deadly vampire, smiling even less than an arm's length away. My heart rate went from 60 to 150 million. Fear sending silver lightning racing down my limbs. Emotions have power. They fuel a lot of my magic. The fear hit me, and the pressure on the suppression spell redoubled. There was a flash of light and a puff of smoke from the nearest camera, and the operator staggered back from it, tearing off his headphones with one of the curses they have to edit out of daytime TV. Smoke began to rise steadily from the camera, along with the smell of burning rubber, and the studio monitor shrieked with feedback. Well, Ortega said under his breath, nice to see you again, Mr. Dresden. I swallowed and fumbled at my pocket where I had a couple of my wizard gadgets I used for self-defense. Ortega put his hand on my arm. It didn't look like he was exerting himself, but his fingers closed on my wrist like manacles, hard enough to send flashes of pain up to my elbow and shoulder. I looked around, but everyone was staring at the malfunctioning camera. Relax, Ortega said, his accent thick and vaguely Lieutenant. I'm not going to kill you on television, wizard. I'm here to talk to you. Get off me, I said. My voice was thin, shaky, goddamn stage fright. He released me and I jerked my arm away. The crew rolled the smoking camera back, and a director type with the set headphones made a rolling motion with the fingers in one hand. Larry nodded to him and turned to Ortega. Sorry about that. We'll edit that part out later. It's no trouble, Ortega assured him. Why is it that I'm picturing freaking Andrade in this part? I don't know why. How you know? Larry paused for a moment and then said, Dr. Ortega, welcome to the show. You have a reputation as one of the premier analysts of paranormal phenomena in the world. You have proven that a wide variety of so-called supernatural occurrences were actually clever hoaxes. Can you tell us a little about that? Now, there's got to be some kind of irony for a vampire to be a debunker of the supernatural. There's got to be some irony there somewhere. It just really does. Certainly. I have investigated these events for a number of years, and I have yet to find one that cannot be adequately explained. Alleged crop circles proved to be nothing more than a favorite pastime of a small group of British farmers, for example. Other events are certainly unusual, but by no means supernatural. Even here in Chicago, you had a ring of toads in one of your local parks witnessed by dozens, if not hundreds, of people. And as it turned out later, that a freak windstorm had scooped them from elsewhere and deposited them here. Larry nodded, his expression serious. Then you don't believe in these events. Ortega gave Larry a patronizing smile. I would love to believe such things are true, Larry. There is little enough magic in the world, but I am afraid that even though we each have a part of us that wishes it to believe in the wondrous speeds and fantastic powers, the fact of the matter is that it is simple, primitive superstition. Then, in your opinion, practitioners of the supernatural, frauds, Ortega said with certainty, but no offense meant to your guests, of course. All of these so-called mediums, presuming they are self-deluded, are simply skilled actors who have acquired a fundamental grasp of human psychology and know how to exploit it. They're easily able to deceive the gullible into believing that they can contact the dead and read thoughts, or that they are in fact supernatural beings. Why, with a few minutes of effort and the right setting, I'm certain that I can convince anyone in this room that I was a vampire myself. People laughed again. I scowled at Ortega, frustration growing once more, putting more pressure on the suppression spell. The air around me started to feel warmer. The second camera yelped and jerked off his squealing earphones while his camera started spinning about slowly on its stand, winding power cables around its steel frame it rested on. The on-air lights went out. Larry stepped to the edge of the stage, yelling at the poor cameraman. The apologetic-looking director appeared from the wings, and Larry turned his attention on him. The man bore the scolding with a kind of oxen-like patience, and then examined the camera. He muttered something into his headset, and he and the shaking cameraman began to wheel the dead camera away. Larry folded his arms impatiently and then turned to the guest and said, I'm sorry, give us a couple minutes to get a spare camera in. It won't take long. No problem, Larry, Ortega assured him. We can just chat for a moment. Larry peered at me. Are you all right, Mr. Dresden? He asked. You look a little pale. Could you use a drink or something? I know I could, Ortega said, his eyes on me. Vampire jokes. Leave. I'll have someone bring them out, Larry said, and strode off stage toward his hairstylist. Tried to cuss her out again. Mort had engaged Father Vincent in quiet conversation, his back very firmly toward me. I turned back to Ortega warily, my back stiff, and fought down the anger and fear. Usually being scared out of my mind is kind of useful. Magic comes from emotions, and terror is a handy fuel. But this wasn't the place to start calling up gales of wind or flashes of fire. There were too many people around. It would be too easy to get someone hurt or even killed. Besides which, Ortega was right. This wasn't the place to fight. If he was here, he wanted to talk. Otherwise, he would have simply jumped me in the parking garage. Okay, I said, what do you want to say? He needed to look closer so he wouldn't have to raise his voice. I cringed inwardly, but I didn't flinch away. No, you're not going to do that. No ad break for you. I've come to Chicago to kill you, Mr. Dresden. But I have a proposal for you that I want you to hear first. You really need to work on your opening technique. I said, I read a book on negotiations. I could loan it to you. He gave me a humorless smile. The war between your people and mine is too costly for both of us. War is a pretty stupid option to take, generally speaking. I said, I never wanted it. But you began it, Ortega said. You began it over a point of principle. I began it over a human life. And how many more would you save by ending it now? Ortega said. Not merely wizards suffer from this. Our attention to the war leaves us less able to control the wilder elements of our own court. We frown upon reckless killings, but wounded and leaderless members of our courts often kill when they do not truly need to. Ending the war now would save hundreds, perhaps thousands of lives. So would killing your vampire on the planet. What's your point? Ortega smiled, showing teeth. Just regular teeth, no long canines or anything. The vampires in the Red Court looked human, right up until they turned into something out of a nightmare. The point, Dresden, is that the war is unprofitable, undesirable. You're the symbolic cause of it to my people, and the point of the connection between us and your own Red Council. Once you are slain, the Council will accept peace overtures as will the court. So you're asking me to lay down and die? That's not much of an offer. You really need to read that book. I am making you an offer. Face me in single combat, Dresden. I didn't quite laugh at him. Why the hell should I do that? His eyes were expressionless. Because if you do it, you will mean that the warriors I have brought to town with me will not be forced to target your friends and allies, that the mortal assassins we have retained will not need to receive their final confirmations to kill a number of clients who have hired during the past 5 years. I am sure I need not mention names. Fear and anger had been about to settle down, but they came surging back again. There's no reason for that, I said. If your war is with me, keep it with me. Gladly. Jim said, I do not approve of such tactics. Face me under the dueling laws and the accords. And after I kill you, what? I said. I didn't know if I could kill him, but there was no reason to let him think I wasn't confident about it. The next hotshot Red Duke does the same thing. Defeat me, and the court has agreed that the city will become neutral territory, that those living in it, including yourself and your friends and associates, will be freed of the threat of the attack so long as they're in it. I stared hard at him for a moment. Chicago Blanca, huh? He quirked a puzzled eyebrow at me. Never mind, after your time. I looked away from him and licked the sweat from my upper lip. A stagehand came by with a couple of bottled waters and passed them to Ortega and to me. I took a drink. The pressure of the spell made flickering colored dots float across my vision. You're stupid to fight me, I said. Even if you kill me, my death curse will fall on you. He shrugged. I am not as important as the whole of the court. I will take that risk. Hell's bells, dedicated, honorable, courageous, self-sacrificial, and these are absolutely the worst people in the world to go up against. I tried one last dodge, hoping it might pay off. I'd have to have it in writing. The council gets a copy, too. I want all this on I'll recognize official under the accords. That done, you will agree to the duel? I took a deep breath. The last thing I wanted was to square off against another supernatural nasty vampire. Scared me. They were strong and way too fast, and they had an enormous yuck factor. Their saliva was an addictive narcotic, and I'd been exposed to it enough to make me twitch once in a while, wondering what it'd be like to get another hit. I barely went outside after dark these days, specifically because I didn't want to encounter any more vampires. A duel would mean a fair fight, and I hate fair fights. In the words of a murderous fairy queen, they're too easy to lose. Of course, if I didn't agree to Ortega's offer, I'd be fighting him anyway, probably at a time and place of his choosing, and I'd had the feeling that Ortega wasn't going to show the arrogance and overconfidence I had seen in other vampires. Something about him said, but I believe he would start in on the people I cared about if he couldn't have me. I mean, come on, it was cliched villainy at its worst, and an undeniably effective lever. I'd like to say that I carefully weighed all the factors, reasoned my way to a level-headed conclusion, and made a rational decision to take a calculated risk, but I didn't. Truth is, I thought of Ortega and company doing harm to some of the people I cared about, and suddenly felt angry enough to start in on him right there. I faced him, eyes narrowed, and didn't bother to hold the anger in check. The suppression spell began to crack, and I didn't bother to keep it going. The spell shattered, the build of a wild energy rushed silently and invisibly all over the studio. There was a cough of static from the speakers on the stage. Before they died with loud pops, the floodlights overhead suddenly burst with flashes of brilliance and clouds of sparks that fell down over everyone on the stage. One of the two surviving cameras exploded into fire, bluish flames rising up from out of the casing, and heavy power outlets along the wall started spitting orange and green sparks. Larry Fowler yelped and leapt into the air, batting at his belt before pitching a smoldering cell phone to the floor. The lights died and people started screaming in startled panic. Ortega, lit only by the falling sparks, looked grim and somehow eager, shadows dancing over his features, his eyes huge and dark. Fine, I said. Get it to me in writing and you've got a deal. The emergency lights came up, fire alarms started whooping, and people started stumbling toward exits. Ortega smiled, all teeth, and glided off the stage, vanishing into the wings. I stood up, shaking a little. A piece of something had apparently fallen and hit Mort's head. There was a gash on his scalp already brimming with blood, and he wobbled precariously when he tried to stand. I helped him up, so did Father Vincent on the other side of him. We lugged the little ectomancer toward the fire doors. We got Mort down some stairs and outside the building. Chicago PD was already on the scene already, blue and white lights flashing. Fire crews and an ambulance with three were just then rolling up on the street. We settled Mort down among a row of people with minor injuries and stood back. We were both panting a little as the emergency med tech started triage on the wounded. Actually, Mr. Dresden, Father Vincent said, I must confess something to you. Sure. I said, don't think I missed the irony on that one, Padre. Vincent's leathery mouth creased into a strained smile. I did not really come to Chicago merely to appear on the show. No, I said. No, I really came here to talk to me, I interjected. He lifted his eyebrows. How did you know? How you know? I sighed and got my car keys out of my pocket. It's just been that kind of day. I am going to pause right quick and take a quick drink. So you see how things are lining up for Harry right now? Basically, he is in it up to his armpits. As per usual. Yeah, it's shouting it. Yeah, after the ad break does pop up, I'm going to let it run and take a slight pause for that. Chapter 2. I started walking from my car and beckoned Father Vincent to follow. He did. I walked fast enough to make him work to keep up with me. You must understand, he said, that I must insist upon strict confidentiality if I'm to divulge details of my problem to you. I frowned at him and said, you think I'm a crackpot at best or a charlatan at worst, so why would you want me to take your case? Not that I would turn him down. I wanted to take his case. Well, more accurately, I wanted to take his money. I wasn't in the bad fiscal shape of the year before, but that meant only that I had to fend the creditors off with a baseball bat rather than a cattle prod. I am told you are the best investigator in the city for it, Father Vincent said. I arched an eyebrow at him. You've got something supernatural going on? He rolled his eyes. No, naturally not. I'm not naive, Mr. Dresden, but I am told that you know more about the occult community than any private investigator in the city. Oh, I said that. I thought for a minute and figured it was probably true. The occult community he had in mind was the usual New Age, crystal-gazing, tarot-turning, palm-reading crowd to see in any large city. Most of them were harmless, and many had at least a little ability at magic, adding a dash of feng shui artists, seasoned liberally with Wiccans of a variety of flavors and sincerities, blended a few modestly gifted practitioners who liked mixing religion with their magic, and some followers of voodoo and a few sanitarians, and a sprinkling of Satanists, and it all garnished with a crowd of younger people who like to wear a lot of black, and you get what most folks think of as the occult community. Of course, hunting in there, you find the occasional sorcerer, necromancer, monster, or demon. The real players, the nasty ones, regarded that crime the same way a 10-year-old would a gingerbread amusement park. My mental earlier warning system set off with an imaginary klaxon. Who referred you to me, Padre? I'm a local priest, Vincent said. He took a small notebook from his pocket, opened it, read Father Forhill of St. Mary of the Angels. Well, looks like might be the solar eclipse happening. I blinked. Father Forhill didn't see eye to eye with me on the whole religion thing, but he was a decent guy, a little stuffy maybe, but I liked him. And I owed him for a few favors past. You should have said that in the first place. You'll take the case? Father Vincent asked as we headed into the parking garage. I want to hear the details first, but if Forhill thinks I can help, I will, I added hastily. My standard fees apply. Naturally. Father Vincent said he toward the crucifix at his throat. May I assume you will spare me the magician rigmarole? Wizard, I said. There's a difference. Magicians do stage magic. Wizards do real magic. Yeah, the big three. Sorry. He sighed. I don't need an entertainer, Mr. Dresden, just an investigator. And I don't need you to believe me, Padre. Just pay me and we'll get along fine. He gave me an uncertain look and said, ah. We reached my car, a battered old Volkswagen Bug named the Blue Beetle. It has what some people call character and what I would call lots of mismatched replacement parts. The original car may have been blue, but now it has pieces of green, white, and red BWs grafted onto it in places the original as they got damaged in one way or another. The hood had to be held down with a piece of hanger wire just to keep it from flipping up when the car jounced, and the front bumper was still smashed out of shape from last summer's attempt at vehicular monster slaughter. Maybe if Vince's job paid well, I'd be able to get it fixed. Father Vincent blinked at the bill and asked, what happened? I hit trees. You drove your car into a tree? No, trees, plural, and then a dumpster. I glanced at him self-consciously and added, there were little trees. His uncertain look deepened to actual worry. Ah. I unlocked my door, not that I was worried about anyone stealing my car. I once had a car thief offer to get me something better for a sweetheart rate. That's pretty bad when you're the car thief went, wow. Can I get you something better? I guess you want to give me the details somewhere more private? Father Vincent nodded. Yes, of course. If you could take me to my hotel. I have some photographs, and I heard the scuff of shoes on concrete. Time for me to catch the gunman in my peripheral vision as he rose from between a pair of parked cars one row over. Dim lights gleamed on the gun, and I threw myself across the hood of the Beetle away from him. I crashed into Father Vincent, who let out a squeak of startled surprise, and the pair of us tumbled to the ground as the man started shooting. The gun didn't split the air with thunder when it fired. Typically, guns do that. They're a hell of a lot louder than anything most folks run into on a day-to-day basis. This gun didn't roar or bark or even bang. It made a kind of loud noise, maybe as loud as someone slamming an unabridged dictionary down on the table. The gunman was using a silencer. I never will understand that. I'll get to that in a second. One shot hit my car and careened off the curve of the hood. Another went by my head as I struggled with Father Vincent, and third shattered the safety glass of a Ritz's sports car parked beside me. Wow, for an assassin, he sucks. What's happening? Father Vincent stammered. Shut up, I snarled. The gunman was moving, his feet scuffing on the concrete as he skirted around my car. I reached around the Beetle's headlight and fumbled with the wire holding the hood down when the man came closer. It gave way and the hood wobbled up as I reached to the storage compartment. I looked up in time to see a man, medium height and build, mid-30s, dark pants and jacket, with a small caliber pistol, its end heavy with a manufactured silencer. He fired, but he hadn't taken time to aim at me. He wasn't 20 feet away, but he missed. Wow. I drew the shotgun out of the car's trunk and flicked off the safety as I chambered around. The gunman's eyes widened, and he turned to run. He shot at me again on the way, shattering one of the Beetle's headlights, and he kept shooting towards me as he skittered back the way he came. I jerked back behind the car and kept my head down, trying to count his shots. He got to 11 or 12, and the gunman went silent. I stood up, the shotgun ready at my shoulder, and sighted down the barrel. The gunman ducked behind a concrete column and kept running. Damn it, I hissed. Get in the car. But Father Vincent stammered, get in the car! I shouted. I got up, I twisted the hanger wire on the hood back into place, and got in. Vincent got in the passenger side, and I shoved the shotgun at him. Hold this. He fumbled with his eyes wide as I brought the Beetle to life with a roar. Well, not really a roar. A Volkswagen Bug doesn't roar, but it sort of growled, and I mashed it into the gear before the priest had managed to completely shut the door. I headed for the parking garage's exit, whipping around the ramps and turns. What are you doing? Father Vincent demanded. He's an outfit hitter, I spat. They'll have the exit covered. we screeched around the final corner toward the parking garage's exit. I heard someone yelling in a breathless voice, and a couple of large, unfriendly-looking men in a car parked across the street was just getting out. One of them held a shotgun, and the other had a heavy-duty semi-automatic, maybe a Desert Eagle. I didn't recognize the thug with the shotgun, but thug number 3 was an enormous man with reddish hair, no neck, and a cheap suit. Cujo Hendricks, the right-hand enforcer to the crime lord of Chicago, Gentleman Johnny Marcone. All right, we've got an ad break starting. Give me one moment. I'm going to take a quick pause for the cause and take another drink. And during this time, I am going to self-promote a little bit. I do also have a YouTube channel for following and whatnot. I post clips in my shorts. I post clips in my shorts. That did not come out right. I post clips from my Twitch channel as shorts to my YouTube channel. I also stream on YouTube as well when they let me. Unlike yesterday. And yes, my voice is already getting a little hoarse. So I'm not used to doing this anymore. So DMs. I don't know if you can hear me for the ad, but DMs. I am taking a quick ad break. For those of you on YouTube, I do apologize, but I never read during the actual ad breaks because reasons. And I actually do let one ad break go during a story time, so that way it gives me a little extra moment to breathe, as it were. Whew. It just gives me a moment to check all my messages and what have you and do all the things. Probably going to be doing some of the more interesting demos today after reading time. And I'm probably going to cut reading time a little short because I'm actually only going to go till about 4. I'm trying to pace myself. Because I only have today and Friday to stream. I would be streaming Saturday with Dawn's visiting, I think. If it's not, then I will. I'll stream for a lot longer. I'll probably do some vampire that day, probably. Excuse me. Next week is when I start doing the evening stream, the DP evening streams. So, and that's when I'll be doing, like a couple hour streams here and there. Mondays and Fridays I won't be, just in case I do get to catch wrestling. So it'll primarily be Tuesdays and Wednesdays for short streams at night, and then streaming on Saturday. Cause I come home like it's gonna be like 9 o'clock by the time I get home. So it's gonna be a little different than what I originally planned. Well, the original job they were going to give me was going to be like 8 to 4. So, and we're back from the ad break. In case you didn't hear me during the ad break. How you doing? Let me get back to the reading. Let me get my glasses back in position since I don't have my new prescription yet. By the way, for those of you that are curious, if you ever would like to make a donation to the cause of me getting my glasses, there's a technique right there. There's no sound alert that goes along with it because it is muted on the stream. But anyway, back to where I was reading. I had to bounce the beetle up onto the sidewalk at the parking garage exit to get around the security bar, and I mowed down some unscaped bushes on the way. I jounced over the curb and into the street, hauling the wheel to the right and mashed the accelerator to the floor. I glanced back and saw the original gunman standing at a fire exit door, pointing the silenced pistol at us. He snapped off several more shots, though I only heard the last few, as the silencer started to give out. He didn't have a prayer of a clean shot, but he got lucky and my back window shattered inward. I gulped and took the first corner against the light, nearly colliding with the U-Haul moving truck, and it kept accelerating away. A couple of blocks later, my heart slowed down enough that I could think. I slowed the car down to something approaching the speed limit. Thank the lucky stars the suppression spell had fallen apart in the studio, not the car. and rolled down my window. I stuck my head out for a second to see if Hendricks and his goons were following us. But I didn't see anyone coming along behind us and took it on faith. I pulled my head in and found the barrel of the shotgun pointing at my chin while Father Vincent, his face pale, muttered to himself under his breath in Italian. Hey, I said, pushed the gun's barrel away. Careful with that thing. You want to kill me? I reached down and flicked the safety on. I put it down. A patrolman sees that, we're in trouble. Father Vincent gulped and tried to lower the gun below the level of the dash. This weapon's illegal? Illegal is such a strong word, I muttered. Oh, my, Father Vincent said with a gulp. Those men, he said, they tried to kill you. That's what hitters for the outfit do, I agreed. How do you know who they are? First guy had a silenced weapon, a good silencer, metal and glass, not a cheapo plastic ball. I checked out the window again. He was using a small caliber weapon, too, and he was trying to get real close before he started shooting. Why does that matter? It looked clear. My hands trembled and felt a little weak, because it means he was using light ammunition, subsonic. If the bullet breaks the sound barrier, it sort of defeats the point of a silenced weapon. When I saw I was armed, he ran, covered himself doing it, and went for help. He's a pro. Yeah, but he's a pro with shitty aim. Sorry. Oh, my, Father Vincent said again. He looked a little pale. Plus, I recognized one of the men waiting at the exit. Someone was at the exit, Father Vincent said. Yeah, some of Marcone's rent-a-thugs. I glanced back at the shattered window and sighed. Damn it. So where are we going? Father Vincent gave me directions in a numb voice, and I concentrated on driving, trying to ignore the quivering in my stomach and the continued trembling in my hands. Getting shot at is not something I handle very well. I mean, that's what you shouldn't, right? Hendricks, why the hell was Marcone sending goons after me? Marcone was the lord of the mean streets of Second City. But generally, he didn't like to use that kind of violence. He thought it was bad for business. I had believed Marcone and I had an understanding, or at least an agreement to stay out of each other's way. So why would he make a move like this? Maybe I'd already stepped over a line somewhere that I didn't know existed. I glanced at the shaken Father Vincent. He hadn't told me yet what he wanted, and whatever it was that was important enough to covertly drag one of the Vatican's staff all the way to Chicago. Maybe it was important enough to kill a nosy wizard over, too. Oh, boy, it was turning into a hell of a day. Chapter 3. Father Vincent directed me to a motel a little ways north of O'Hare. It was a national chain, cheap but clean, with rows of doors facing the parking lot. I drove around to the back of the motel away from the street, frowning. It didn't look like the kind of place someone like Vincent would stay in. The priest left my car almost before I set the parking brake, hurried to the nearest door, and ducked inside as quickly as he could open the lock. I followed him. Vincent shut the door behind us, locked it, and then fiddled with the blinds until they closed. He nodded at the room's little table and said, "Please, sit down." I did and stretched out my legs. Father Vincent pulled open a drawer with a plain dresser and drew out a file folder held closed with a wide rubber band. He sat down across from me, took off the rubber band, and said, "The church is interested in recovering some stolen property." I shrugged and said, "Sounds like a job for the police." "An investigation is underway, and I am giving your police department my full cooperation, but how to phrase this politely?" He frowned. "History is an able teacher." "You don't trust the police," I said. "Gotcha." He grimaced. "It is only that there have been a number of associations between Chicago police and various underworld figures in the past." "That's mostly movies now, Padre. You may not have heard, but the whole Al Capone thing has been over for a while." "Perhaps," he said, "perhaps not. I simply seek to do everything within my power to recover the stolen article. That includes involving an independent and discreet investigator." Ah. So he didn't trust the police and wanted me to work for him on the sly. That's why we were meeting in a cheap motel rather than wherever he was really staying. "What do you want me to find for you?" "A relic," he said. "A what?" "An artifact, Mr. Dresden, an antique possessed by the church for several centuries." "Oh, that," I said. "Yes. The article is fragile and of great age, and we believe that if it is not being adequately preserved, it is imperative that we recover it as quickly as possible." "What happened to it?" "It was stolen 3 days ago from the Cathedral of St. John the Baptist in northern Italy. Long ways off. We believe that the artifact was brought here to Chicago to be sold." "Why?" He took an 8x10 glossy black and white from the folder and passed it to me. It featured a fairly messy corpse lying on the cobblestones. Blood had run into the spaces between the stones, as well as pooling a little on the ground around the body. I think it had been a man, but it was hard to tell for certain. Whoever it was had been slashed in almost literal ribbons across the face and neck, sharp, neat, straight cuts, professional knife work. Ugh. This man is Gaston LaRouche. He is the ringleader of a group of organized thieves who call themselves the Church Mice. They specialize in robbing sanctuaries and cathedrals. He was found dead this morning after the robbery near a small airfield. His briefcase contained several falsified pieces of American identification and plane tickets that would carry him here. But no, what's it? Ah, exactly. Father Vincent removed another pair of photos. They were also black and white, but they looked rougher as if they'd been magnified several times. Both were of women in average height and build, dark hair, dark sunglasses. Surveillance photos, I asked. He nodded. Interpol. Anna Valmont and Francesca Garcia. We believe they helped LaRouche with the theft, then murdered him and left the country. Interpol received a tip that Valmont had been seen at the airport here. Do you know who the buyer is? Vincent shook his head. No, but in this case, I want you to find the remaining church mice and recover the artifact. I frowned, looking at the photos. Yeah, that's what they want me. That's what they want you to do too. That's what they want you to do too. Vincent blinked at me. What do you mean? I shook my head impatiently. Someone, look at this photo. LaRouche wasn't murdered there. Vincent frowned. Why would you say that? Not enough blood. I've seen men who were torn up and bled out. There's a hell of a lot more blood. I paused and said, pardon my French. Vincent crossed himself. Why would his body be found there? I shrugged. A professional did him. Look at the cuts. They're methodical. He was probably unconscious or drugged because you can't hold a man still very easily when you're taking the knife to his face. Father Vincent pressed one hand to his stomach. Oh. So you've got a corpse found in the middle of the street somewhere, basically wearing a sign around his neck that says the goods are in Chicago. Either someone was incredibly stupid or someone was trying to lead you here. It's a professional killing that someone meant his corpse to be a clue. But who would do such a thing? I shrugged. Probably a good thing to find out. Do you have any better pictures of these two women? He shook his head. No, and they've never been arrested. No criminal record. They're good at what they do, man. I took the photos. There were little dossiers paperclipped to the backs of the pictures, listing them aliases, locations, but nothing terribly useful. This one isn't going to be quick. Worthwhile goals really are. What do you need from me, Mr. Preston? A retainer, I said. 1,000 would do, and I need a description of this artifact. The more detailed, the better. Father Vincent gave me a matter-of-fact nod and drew a plain steel money clip from his pocket. He counted off 10 portraits of Ben Franklin and passed them to me. The artifact is an oblong length of linen cloth, 14 feet, 3 inches long by 3 feet, 7 inches wide, made of a hand-woven 3-to-1 herringbone twill. There are a number of patches and stains on the cloth, and I held up my hand, frowning. Wait a minute. Where'd you say this thing was stolen from? The Cathedral of St. John the Baptist, Father Vincent said. In northern Italy, I said. He nodded. In Turin, to be exact, I said. He nodded again, his expression reserved. Someone stole the freaking shroud of Turin? I demanded. Yes. I settled back into the chair, looking down at the photos again. This changed things. This changed things a lot. The shroud. Supposedly the burial cloth used by Joseph of Arimathea to wrap the body of Christ after the crucifixion. Capital C's. The cloth supposedly wrapped around Christ when he was resurrected with his image, his blood, imprinted on it. Wow, I said. What do you know about the shroud, Mr. Dresden? Not much. Christ's burial cloth. They did a bunch of tests in the 70s and no one was able to conclusively disprove it. It almost got burned a few years back when the cathedral caught fire. There are stories that it has healing powers or that a couple of angels still attend it. A bunch of others I can't remember right now. Father Vincent rested his hands on the table and leaned toward me. Mr. Dresden, the shroud is perhaps the single most vital artifact of the church. It is a powerful symbol of faith and one in which many people believe. It is also politically significant. It is absolutely vital to Rome that it be restored to the church's custody as expediently as possible. I stared at him for a second, trying to pick out my words carefully. Are you going to be insulted if I suggest that it's very possible that the shroud is significant, magically speaking? Vincent pressed his lips together. I have no illusions about it, Mr. Dresden. It is a piece of cloth, not a magic carpet. Its value derives solely from its historical and symbolic significance. Uh-huh. I said, hell's bells, that's where plenty of magical power came from. The shroud was old and regarded as special. People believed in it. That could be enough to give it a kind of power all by itself. Some people might believe otherwise, I said. Of course, he agreed. That is why your knowledge of the local occult may prove invaluable. I nodded, thinking, this could be something completely mundane. Someone could have stolen a moldy old piece of cloth and sold it to a crackpot who believed it was a magic bedsheet. I am so sorry, yes, that is so heretical, but it is true. It could be that the shroud is nothing more than a symbol, an antique, a historical Pop-Tart. Nifty, but ultimately not very significant. Of course, there was also the possibility that the shroud was genuine and that it actually had been in contact with the Son of God when he had been brought back from the dead. I pushed that thought aside. So, excuse me. Regardless of why or how, if the shroud was something special, magically speaking, then it could mean a whole new and nastier ballgame. Of all the weird, dark, or wicked powers who might have absconded with the shroud, I couldn't think of any who would do anything cheerful with it. All sorts of supernatural interests might be at play. Even discounting that possibility, mortal pursuit of the shroud seemed to be deadly enough. John Marcone might already be involved, as well as the Chicago police, probably Interpol and the FBI too. Even sans supernatural powers, when it came to finding people, the cops were damn good at what they did. Odds were good that they'd locate the thieves and haul in the shroud within a few days. I looked from the photos to the cash and thought about how many bills I could pay off with a nice fat fee courtesy Father Vincent. If I got lucky, maybe I wouldn't have to put myself in harm's way to do it. Sure, I believe that. I put the money in my pocket and I picked up photos too. How can I get in touch with you? Father Vincent wrote a phone number on the motel stationery and passed it to me. Here, it's my answering service while I'm in town. There goes the frames again. All right, I can't promise you anything concrete, but I'll see what I can do. Father Vincent stood up and said, thank you, Mr. Dresden. Father Fortiel spoke most highly of you, you know. He's a sport, I agreed, rising. Excuse me, I have appointments to keep. I bet. Here's my card if you need to get in touch. I gave him a business card, shook hands, and left. What is this with the drop in frames all of a sudden? I mean, it's almost like it's just raining. Give me a sec, guys. I mean, I'm glad it's a static feed, but still. Well, I'm checking my speed test right quick. I do apologize, guys. I don't think it's me, though. I think OBS is just having issues. It keeps asking me about optimization, and I wonder if that last update kind of fucked with its own. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Oof. It's saying I'm not having a good ping day. Upload is with the pretty sour. I may actually end stream after the book reading, which is actually coming pretty soon. But I'm not going to end stream permanently. I'm just going to reboot OBS. I bet. Here's my card if you need to get in touch. I gave him a business card, shook hands, and left. At the Beetle, I stopped to open the trunk and put the shotgun back in it. After taking the shell from the chamber and making sure the safety was on, then I pulled out a length of wood a little longer than my forearm. Carved over with runes and sigils that helped me focus my magic a lot more precisely. I tossed my suit jacket over the gun and dug out a silver bracelet dangling a dozen tiny medieval-style shields from my pocket. I fastened that to my left arm, slipped a silver ring onto my right hand, and took my blasting rod and set it beside me on the car seat as I got in. Between the new case, the outfit hitter, and Duke Ortega's challenge, I wanted to make damn sure that I wasn't going to get caught with my eldritch britches down again. I took the Beetle home to my apartment. I rented the basement apartment of a huge creaking old board house. By the time I got back, it was after midnight, and the late February air was speckled with the occasional flakes of wet snow that wouldn't last once it hit the ground. The adrenaline rush of the Larry Fowler show, then the hired goon attack had faded and left me aching, tired, and worried. I got out of the car, determined to head for bed and up early to start work on Vincent's case. A sudden sensation of cold, rippling energy and a pair of muffled thumps from the stairs leading down to my apartment changed my mind. I drew out my blasting rod, ready the shield bracelet on my left wrist, but before I could step up the stairs, a pair of figures flew up them and landed heavily on the half-frozen ground beside the gravel parking lot. They struggled, rolling until one of the showery figures got a leg underneath the form on top of it and pushed. The second figure flew 20 feet through the air and landed on the gravel with a thump and a cough of expelled air, and then got up and sprinted away. Shield ready, I stepped forward before the remaining intruder to rise. I forced an effort of will through the blasting rod, setting the runes along its length alight with scarlet. Fire coalesced at the tip of the rod, bright as a road flare, but I held the strike as I stepped forward, shoving the tip of the blasting rod down at the intruder. Make a move and I'll fry you. Red light fell over a woman. She was dressed in jeans, a black leather jacket, white t-shirt, and gloves. She held her long midnight hair tied back in a tail. Dark, oblique eyes smoldered up at me from beneath long lashes. Her beautiful face had an expression of weary amusement. My heart thudded in a sudden pain and excitement. Well, Susan said, looking from the sizzling blasting rod up to my face, I've heard running into an old flame that this is ridiculous. All right. Given the fact that OBS is giving me shit, I am actually going to pause that for the day. That is 3 chapters in, though. Usually I do about 10 or so, but my throat is not used to doing this anymore, and OBS is having seizures. So that is the end of Storytime with Cyn. Sorry it's so brief, but an hour here, an hour there. It's not that bad. When I start streaming at night, it's going to be about like that on Wednesday nights. It's going to be about an hour and then an hour of gaming, and then I have to head to bed. So I'm trying to balance all this, guys. Let's just swap over. Oh, turn off the PC game. Sure. There we go. Ta-da! I didn't have my thing turned on. As you can see, I actually have a list up, and you notice I'm not stopping the background noise. I actually have a list up of games that I am going to play here and there. Let's see. I'm actually going to take a quick rugby between sections. So you guys stay loose, stay handy. I'll be back in just 2 minutes. And I'll be back right after these commercial break. Not quite 2 and 2, but I'm back. Oh, all right. Now I have heard about some of these games. Let's look up all of that. Thank you. Some of these are kind of spooky. Some of these are not so much. I wanted to take a look at some of these, and of course I'll play Power Wash on stream. I have not played Power Wash 2 on stream because it's not unavailable for my current level. This game really intrigues me because this is actually based upon Sweeney Todd. So, and this is a game that actually was talked about on one of the video game shows. So, but I'll be honest with you guys, I don't know why OBS is dropping frames at flakes, and I also don't know why it keeps asking me to optimize. It's like your computer is blah 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 blah. And when I end stream today, I'm actually going to start to stream and look at that dialog box again and see what it says because I keep clicking it off because I don't know what the hell's going on. So, um, I am going to start with the first, and we're actually going to change the name of the game here. Apparently, this is, and like I said, if these games pan out, then I will actually, put them on my wish list and buy them in the future and, play them on stream and stuff. I like to do demo days because sometimes folk, it's like I like to try games before other people do because um, that way, if they suck, I can tell you. And I will say this, I have not had a decent, what am I trying to say here? Keymailer has not sent me a decent invite in quite a while now. Okay, English, of course. And this may start out loud, and I do apologize. It always does. I don't know why they don't optimize the volume before when they launch games. And if I get through all the demos, but by around a little before 4, we will end out and write out. If not, I will save some demos for next time. I would really prefer to get done within an hour and actually play like Cult of the Lamb or something because I would like to start the game over some of the new stuff that come out. I would really love to buy the Woolhaven DLC, but I just haven't had it for it. Like I said, I have the tip command in case anybody wants to change that. Plus, I do have a wish list on both Xbox and Steam's. But it's good. I'm just waiting for it to load, guys. Sounds. No, Anubis, you can't get up here. Just stop. I'm trying to keep you from falling and hurting yourself. Goober. Anubis keeps trying to get up here. I might have to be like Wolf and get a cat cam for you. What? What the? He's been a cut. Okay. Yes, dear. I know you're here. What? I love you too. No, very, very dainty. There. Nope. Wow. Jeez. You see that? Wow. Damn. Wow. That was, I hate to say it, that's kind of shitty. Wow. Did you see that shit? It was like, yeet. I was like, fuck. Really? But, oh, wow. Okay. Let's see here. What shall we sell? Let's see. I am one of these people that, transcribe sound like a manga. The girl, okay, I have to just because. Just because. No, that's just not that's not a thing. Okay, yes, because because it's away with the grease. Okay. Some of those titles are great though. Is there one coming with those books back? I just did. What's the question again? Buy 2 orders of books. Okay. And Black Prime. There you go. Yeet. Wow. Just wow. Just much wow. Wow. Just much wow. Much wow. Where's my hat? The fact they just yeet them off there like that, I'm like, God damn. This goddamn. What the hell? Like, really? For now. That's already $5. Market price though. I feel bad making it that expensive. This kind of reminds me of come in and buy Away with the Breeze and Count Blackula. We promised they're not bootleg. Well, I think he's about to have a bit of a hairball incident here. But new book license. No. I'll wait till my stars close first. Oh. Well, they're actually paying. So, books. This isn't too bad. Sorry. Because I give me your, does that change? I'm not gonna bitch. Find a book lessons. Hmm. That's not the brass, but wait. Give me a second. I'm gonna change the price on it. Now look at Saturn Moon. There's some more books on the shelf. No way the breeze is selling out, yo. Oh, game stalled out. Not yet. This is actually a pretty little fun game, actually. I think it's gonna be good. I dig it. Nice. Yeah, I probably have to close up shop so I can reorder stuff. I'll probably buy a couple cases. This works really well. I'm actually enjoying this. I may end up getting this one because I think it's going to work real well. Very nice. Doesn't really have a set day, so I think I just closed. and close shop. Can I close the doors? All right, so I am all sold out, so I need to buy things. There we go with the yeet. There we go. Yeet. Almost killed that guy. Trying to put them on the other one. Towers. Okay. There we go. Go ahead. Well, I mean, you know. Oh, okay. See parking. See that house. No, but okay. Hours. I don't know the snap. King Heels. Oh, control. Ah. Okay. Forgot about the shit ton of books though. Because I'm actually selling out. I know what the crowd favorites are though. Because I have sold out of Away with the Breeze. Okay, so I do have a time next up here. Okay. If you're looking for Away with the Breeze, then you ain't got it. Sorry, you're sold out. First fucking day. I like how it lays out what you do, which is good. I could play this for a hot minute. I ain't gonna lie, because this is actually pretty fun. I mean, I've been at it for almost 25 minutes. I'll tell you something. I can't really tell what I've made and what I'm not, because. But I do need to buy some more books and all that, because. Well, I gotta have some bookshelves. Although it sticks occasionally. I haven't noticed much in the way of. Yeah, it's frozen time. Let's see. Huh. Well, did pretty good for the first day then. Okay. The hell was this? Oh, neat. Whoa. Um, whoa. That was wild. Okay. Hmm. I'll say 5 since I used. Now, okay, now we need 5. That was a big seller. No, not so much. This was a big seller. Hmm. Hey, you. Nah. Oh, just the one. Okay. Sorry if I'm real quiet. I'm just concentrating.
Get used to disappointment.
Hey, Bunny, how you doing? There we go. Yes, I have the girl with the hyper tattoo, Count Vladula, The Wave of the Breeze, Cretaceous Park, and the robot stream of electric cats. I kid you not. And I have this jewel in them in for some reason, so this is a pretty fun game actually. She bought some of these books. She's really cool. This is kind of cute. This is kind of a cute game. I'm digging it, and I'm probably gonna end up putting this. Well, I don't question it because I know you. That's ideal pay range, girlfriend. Well, that's why I tagged you. I was like, I figured you'd want to know. Dang, I don't know. I did about an hour of reading before you got in. Uh, OBS decided to act up again. It's giving me some shit when I log in too, because when I go to start streaming, it gives me this thing about my computer's not optimized. I'm wondering if I have to pull it back a version. Or maybe that's the problem. But I am having kind of a shitty upload speed today, though. I may have to reboot my modem. Yeah, it might be OBS. I'm not sure. See if I need to restock some. Keep hitting the wrong buttons. Well, did you see what I said about what I'm going to have to do for my card collection? Is I'm going to have to buy supplies. Supplies. mind hitting that, here, that, run. I got it. Yeah, that's what I was like. Oh, she's off on the house. Trying to keep everything stocked. Wow. Racking up, I'll say that. One second. No. No. One second, guys. I'd stuck that up right quick. I was about to have it. It's telling me what I want to know, though. Oh, overrun. Yeah, I read it. A rare bookshelf. Rare. Or rare. Yeah, I know my mess is getting bigger and bigger than it could get. I'm sorry. I'm making the monies though. I'm opening from 8 to 8, apparently. Let's see. No. Back up. Yeah, I need help. Yeah, I do. So I mean, I'm sure I'm getting to that. But I'm also selling certain books like hotcakes too. It's fucking crazy. There's some I can't shift very much, and there's some that I bought like apparently the Away with the Breeze and the Girl with the Hydra Tattoo is selling like crazy, as is Cretaceous Park. It said not 94. 50. Oh no. Ah. By the way, it's only 6 o'clock and I've already made over 3 grand. I sold out of my used books. I'm almost sold out of the electric cats. I am almost sold out of oh, I went with the breeze again, and I'm just like, holy crazy. Oh Jesus. Let's see. Yeah, exactly. Copycats, I swear. All right. Close for the day. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Oh. Mm-mm-mm. Okay. Oh, there's. Wait, watch this. Watch this. Yay! It said yeet. It said the demo level cap is at 10. And the level cap is at 10, and I played to level 6 already. Well, that's great. So basically, I run through all the actual. So I technically played the demo. So and they said that you can play as much as you like. This is actually. They actually said that this is This is actually early access. So I don't even know if the game's actually out yet. So, but this is. I dig it. I like it. I think it's going to be great. I want you, before I close this up and change demos, I want you to see this, but look at all the different book licenses I can buy. And this is actually requires King of the Bugs, Fourth Squadron, Nosy Niles, 2084. Haha, 2084, get it. Yesterday, Without Remorse, The Prince Broom, as opposed to The Princess Bride, that's what I was going to pick up next. Actually, I don't get it. The Return of the Bling, Return of the Bling King, The Taker, The Time Engine, The Two Spires. That's the second book in the series. The Wanderer's Guide to the Universe, Tiny Women, as opposed to Little Women, Tomeo and Odette by Bill Shutterspear, Too Loud on the Eastern Front, The Notepad, The Haunted House on the Hill, which the Halfling, which is this the Fellowship of the Bling. Okay. I need to get that whole set. I'm sorry. I just do because reasons. Aw. I sell back the other one. I didn't realize I had to add that. That's fucking amazing. Shit, that's great. This actually sold like crazy, so bad for that. This sold like crazy, bad for that. That did not sell well. This sold like crazy. And this definitely sold like crazy, so. And we get to watch the Amazon truck come by and yeet it out the window, watch. Yay! Oh my god. Did I have any? Yes, I did. Okay. That's fucking amazing. That's fucking amazing. Fucking amazing. Is that your Jake? Oh boy. I'm digging this game. I'm not gonna lie. I actually do like this game quite a bit. I can see me playing this for a hot minute. You know, for the stream. This is gonna be like my new, supermarket simulator. I can just see it. Said something about hiring somebody too, and I think I might try to do that. I'm gonna need freaking stock room, man. First. I'm curious about something. Find another bookshelf. Call me weird, but pay for it. Yeah. I almost killed that guy. Just so you know. And I get the feeling eventually I will have sections to where um or- there we go. Yeah. Put the prices in for the new ones. Let's you, you gotta love these. You gotta love these news books though. All right. See, I'd be ready to get ready for the show now. Cool. I like it. Let's save that. Can't put it, you know. Well, this is what kills me. This is what it says. These are actually rare books. That's worth nearly $300 if somebody buys it. That one's worth $247 if somebody buys it. That's ultra rare right there. Anyway, there. Let's change the themes here. By the way, this ended up being really good. I'm actually going to the start page. Put that on my wish list because I enjoyed the hell of that, and I may actually keep it in my. And we're going to try a little something different this time. And this might be a game you might be interested in, buddy. Not quite. This is more of a storytelling game. As is Ravenous Devils. And there is a demo for There's No Ghost at the Grand, by the way. And I may whip that one out for in stream for the day. Yes, just for you, Bunny. Well, I won't spend an hour on it. The story of Cabernet takes place in a fictional Eastern European town. Cabernet explores heavy subjects including alcoholism, social conflict, death, and suicide. It portrays cartoon violence, blood, and gore. Any medical terminology or advice that is present in the game may contain false or outdated information shown might be treated as fact. The developers do not condone smoking or excessive alcohol consumption as depicted by certain characters in the story. All characters and events portrayed in this game are a work of fiction. Do we not have a way to turn down the volume a little bit, guys? Sorry. This is kind of like a lighthearted vampire. I'm so sorry it's so loud. Hopefully they'll give me an option. Each year, end of the 19th century.
Thank you all for coming here today to say goodbye to my Lisa.
I'm just gonna turn it down. I'm turning down my headphones. Oh, I need to flip and stuff. Okay.
I never thought I would bury my own daughter, my own blood, my pride, yet I can't do this. Nico, please say something. I just can't.
There. It's all right. What can I say about someone dying so young? Particularly someone as special as Lisa. If I may, I won't dwell on the circumstances of her tragic death today. Instead, I'd like us to celebrate her life. Despite her obvious calling for medicine, when she was little, I always thought she would become a famous writer. You should have heard how she could spin a yarn. She used to tell me her own fairy tales when she was a young girl. The creatures she made up, the stories she told me. The classic ballads were no match for them. Such a bright girl. Always a top student. Always the pride of her parents. By the time she graduated, Lisa must have read every book there was in the school's library.
Yes, I'm expecting her to be a
To
scholar.
my shame, I'm not so well read myself. but she used to teach me about all the classics. That served me very well at dinner parties. I can't tell you how proud we all were when she was accepted at the medical academy. I had no doubt that she was destined for greatness. But to become a doctor, one of the first women to achieve that in the whole country, if someone deserved that honor, it was our Lisa. But my niece was so much more than a gifted student. Even with all her talent for science, what everybody truly knew her by was her artistic nature and angelic voice. Do you remember her summer night performances at the cabin? Her singing, no matter the song, time or place, it felt like it spoke to you alone. Haunting, otherworldly, beautiful. She was my favorite niece. Let us raise a glass to her. Pour some vodka for Kolya, too. He is old enough to send his sister off. A piece of my soul went into the ground with her today, as I'm sure did many of yours. Let those pieces help Lisa, wherever she is now. To Lisa.
I actually had to turn it down. It's loud for me.
When I was a little girl, I often had trouble falling asleep.
Well, see, she could actually study to be a nurse at that point. So it's not that far out there. It was the end of the 19th century. So,
My mother used to sing me this lullaby to comfort me. Tonight, I slept deeper than I had in my entire life. I had a disturbing dream that a string was coming out of my mouth. When I started pulling it, I realized that it came from all the way down my throat, buried somewhere deep in my body. I kept pulling, but I couldn't go too quickly for fear of burning myself with friction. Finally, the whole string was out. I felt relieved, but also strangely empty. I realized that I was in my bed, with my mother sitting beside me, crying. I didn't know why she was in tears, but I knew it was my fault. Dear Lord. Mom? Kolya? My body feels like it's stuffed with cotton, like I slept for days.
okay, this is... Now I can finally... Turn this back up now. Get it proper.
I can't see further than my own fingers. I should take the lamp with me. The cupboard is locked. Why would anyone keep something of value in a place like this? My medical journal from the... Who could have brought this here?
So I need to look on this one.
Lilies of the valley. My favorite flower. Who put them in this room? It's disturbing to see them here. Locked. Hello? Hello? I'm locked inside. Please help. Are you still there? Maybe you can't talk? Please knock twice for yes and once for no. Thank goodness. Can you help me open the door? Thank you. Will you help me? What is it that you want from me? I'm not wealthy, but I know some people who can lend me money, and I'm a doctor by trade. I can heal you if you're sick, or come on call anytime, day or night. I don't have much, but I can owe you a favor. And it's settled. Whoever you are, do you hear me? If you open this door, I, Yelizaveta Morozova, will be in your debt. Ah! What the hell is this? My shoulder just felt like it was burning up. I can't see anything from this angle. I should check up on it later. It's open. No one. What have I gotten myself into?
Okay. I'm sure how to do this. Let's get last. Yep. It's not really telling me where the skill points are. I mean, I think it's here, but I could be wrong. Okay. Oh, okay. There it is. That's what it's cool. Give her a little more well-roundedness.
What a peculiar painting. The husband and wife in the picture don't look very happy. If I had to guess, It smells like death here. Like in the academy when we left a cadaver out for too long. There's someone's money in here. I could live on this for a week. After all that has happened.
I don't like the sound of that.
The mirror is covered by a sheet. People only do that when someone dies. Mother explained that this is so the dead soul does not get lost and trapped inside. Silly superstition, of course. We live in the age of science where there's no... What is this? Where is my reflection? I can't see myself. It must be a trick mirror.
What is it?
Hello? Can anybody hear me?
You know who that family was, don't you? Because that reminded me of Alexander, you know, that
Eerie.
Anastasia and her family. That's what I'm trying to say.
It's hard to say without seeing the face, but this dress.
The Romanovs, thank you.
Could it be the same girl from the first painting? Oh, this is unbearable. I'm a doctor. I can get through this. Give me strength. No. What in heavens is all this? I will make sense of all this later. Something is wrong. My head is spinning. I feel the floor slipping from under my feet.
Would you look at her? How does one have the gall to show at the Countess's manor in such a filthy outfit?
She must be a nihilist. It's spreading all over the country like a plague.
You two don't know what you're talking about. It's the latest rage in Paris now. The dirtier, the better.
Have you heard? The Countess is sending me on a special assignment to the capital.
You lucky devil. I've been stuck here for years.
Hey, stop messing with the phonograph. It's not a toy.
Sorry.
It's a click it, I did.
Locked.
Miss, are you all right?
Mind your own business, Petya. It's rude to stare at a lady.
Sorry.
Wow. That's fun.
I know it's not ideal, Countess Orlova, but I'm afraid there is not much we can do at this point.
Of course now there bloody isn't. The right time to act was last week. I don't understand where this influx of product is coming from. It's undercutting our prices. Where were you when I... Who is this creature? Darling, you look like a little domovoi. Come over here. I don't bite.
Sure about
Hello?
that?
Hello. I'm terribly sorry for it.
You must be the doctor's new apprentice. Look at you, poor thing. You must be fresh out of the ground.
Excuse me?
Ugh, nobody must have actually inducted you. How typical. No surprise with the men around here. Hussar, why is she in such a state?
She was not supposed to wake.
Hussar, be a darling and show this young lady around once she's decent.
As you wish, madam. If you'll excuse me, I'll go for a smoke on the balcony. You can find me there.
You're excused. If I recall my first day correctly, your head must be killing you. Here, drink this.
Thank you. May I ask what this is?
If you know too much, you'll grow old sooner. Trust me, it will lift your spirits.
Whatever this is, it's beyond delicious. It's sweet and thick and tastes like cherry and wild strawberries. Thank you. I do feel a lot better all of a sudden.
Now go change. We can't have you gallivanting around in those scrubs. There is a nice dress about your size in the cloakroom. Consider this my welcome gift.
Thank you kindly, madam. Madam Orlova.
You're welcome, child. Now off you go, change and mingle. Time is money.
Countess is right. I should get dressed before exploring.
So as you can see, this is not your ordinary, this is a story more for...
Another cloth on a mirror. Something bad must have happened. So strange. This mirror doesn't work either.
This is more for in the next few months.
That should do it, hopefully. The Countess sure has excellent taste in literature. In other circumstances, I'd spend all day here reading. Goodness, this must be the dress the Countess was talking about. Such an ornate Western style. It must cost a
September
small
Cozy Story
fortune.
Gang.
I want nothing more than to change out of this horrible nightgown, but this is just too much.
Oh, wow.
It's perfect. Fits like a glove.
I look a lot better now.
I still don't know what's happening here. Or
Well,
at least I hope I
I
don't.
heard about this game via
But
TikTok,
delaying
believe it or
the
not.
inevitable is just tying my stomach in knots. I need to find that young man and learn the truth. I'm starving, and the food looks so fresh and delicious, but the strangest thing is, I have absolutely no appetite for it. I'm starving, and the food looks so fresh and delicious, but the strangest thing is, I have absolutely no appetite for it.
You know, you could actually retcon this and put it as a prequel to Vampire.
Please tell me you have some good...
But you know it, because you said this is like when the gal first started out being a vampire.
Locked. Good evening, Hussar.
Ah, there's our belle of the ball. Lisa, right? You actually don't look half bad when you're not covered in graveyard dirt.
Graveyard dirt? First the Countess, now you? Why is everyone going on about funerals?
Surely an educated lady like you must have put together who we are by now, haven't you?
Could you really be vampires?
They see why Hacker
Lisa,
be a scholar.
you, me, the Countess, nearly everyone here at the manor. Vampires, creatures of the night, blood-sucking monsters. Your pick. Just like you read about in folktales.
Are you just playing tricks on me? Is this all a joke?
Only the best kind there is.
Is this why I had no reflection in the mirror?
If that's what you're concerned about, you look just fine.
Does this mean I'm dead?
Dead, alive, who the hell cares?
Like this guy already.
Trust me, Lisa, you just won the lottery.
I love this guy. He's like, dead, alive, dead, doesn't matter.
What about my family? When can I see them?
I was worried you will ask me that. Technically, they think you are dead, and it is best for everyone if they keep thinking that.
You were asking about the the medical bit. This is medical higher education institutions that exist in Eastern Europe for centuries. However, in some countries, many females are only able to stay at these institutions at the very end of the 19th century.
It's true, too.
I can't just leave them like this. They have to know I'm all right.
Look, I know this is too much for you to take in right now. Maybe that's a conversation we should revisit another time.
Countess calls you Hussar. What's your real name?
At this point, I've been called that far longer than my real name. Just call me that.
All right, Hussar it is. I have so many questions.
See, that's what I was afraid of. Theory is not my forte. I'm a proponent of learning by doing.
I am.
Why don't you go talk the ears off some other guests while I finish smoking in peace? After that, I can show you what it's really like to be one of us. Oh, come on. Where is your spirit of adventure? I'm sure you'll figure it out on your own.
All right then. I'll go see if someone can actually help me.
Meh.
All right. Thank you kindly. I'll be back soon enough.
No rush, please.
He's cute, but aggravating.
I do actually have a model right here with me. I always carry Matilda with me, just in case a good opportunity strikes. You never know. Look into her eyes. Doesn't she look alive to you? Like she's going to blink?
Yes, well... Apologies.
Petya.
Petya. We should probably go and discuss some urgent business with the Countess.
Oh, of course. In fact, I'd love to meet her as...
Aww.
I don't know how, but I can just sense that he is not one of us. Such a strange feeling. Attraction? No, but something very similar. He is most certainly human.
Poor guy.
Oh, hello. It's you, lady in the nightgown. How are you feeling? I was really worried.
Much better. Thank you. I'm Lisa, by the way.
Of course. Where are my manners? I'm Petya.
It's a pleasure. You were the only one who seemed to care about my illness.
Oh, nonsense. They are a lovely bunch around here, just all very busy. The third group I'm pitching my dolls to, and everyone keeps running off for urgent business.
Did you say you're selling dolls?
And making them, yes.
I see you have one with you. May I take a look?
Of course. Matilda here is my favorite. I'd love to get some honest feedback. Well, what do you think?
Oh, it's just lovely. So detailed and human-like. She reminds me of the one I had when I was a little girl.
That's exactly what I wanted to accomplish. Thank you. I knew someone here would appreciate it.
See, it's cultivating relationships, just like in all
I'm hoping to show her to the Countess.
other games.
With her approval, the sky's the limit. You know, making toys is what I wanted to do since I was a little boy. My father always called this foolishness, among other things. Said it's not manly work. And
I'm sorry. That must have been tough.
well, here I am, still at it. I do have a feeling that I'm onto something with Matilda. Just you wait. My gut tells me that tonight is going to bring something special, and it's never wrong.
How did you end up being invited here, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, that's all thanks to Elisa, the lovely young woman in the yellow dress. She saw me at the town market and saw some real potential in my work. She said that the people in the manor might be interested in seeing it, and you didn't have to ask me twice.
I see.
Oh,
How
I've got
is
a bad
pitching
feeling about
going
that.
so far?
I'll admit, it's a little slow, but the night is still young.
You are an optimistic guy, aren't you, Petya?
My mother used to say that my hope will be the death of me. But what's the point of
Foreshadowing?
living if you don't believe?
You may be right about that. At least I truly hope you are. Best of luck with everything, Petya. Hope everything works out with the Countess.
Thank you, Lisa. You're very kind.
Yeah, because the thing about this is that he's the only human in a group full of vampires. Really?
Have you tried the Countess's Cabernet? Honestly, I think this may have been the best one I ever tasted.
I prefer to stick to clear drinks around here. If you really want to try some decent Cabernet, stop by my salon on the main street.
Oh, that sounds like a challenge. I'll take you up on that offer.
Hello. I don't think I've seen you around here before. I'm Arbin.
I'm Lisa. Good evening to you, too.
You don't sound so sure. Is it really a good one for you?
You notice her earring looks like a key.
You're right. If I'm honest, it hasn't been the easiest night.
That's what I thought. My advice is always be honest, unless you absolutely can't be. In the end, it does make everyone feel better.
That's a good piece of advice.
Stick with me, lovely. I'm chock full of them.
I couldn't help but overhear that you are a wine expert?
I dabble. I run a literary salon in town and serve drinks there.
As a hosted gathering of people for the study and enjoyment of literature during the salon, attendees have used one another and increased their knowledge through conversation and exchange of ideas. Salon culture was introduced to the areas of Eastern Europe during the spread of the Francophile culture in the 18th century. Since Arbonne regularly hosts these types of gatherings, her establishment is affectionately referred to as the town's literary salon.
How exciting.
But learn new things.
All kinds of interesting.
You'd be surprised, my dear, and mildly disappointed. I'd love for you to stop by one day. I'll treat you to a round of something nice.
I'll make sure to visit. Since you're an expert, may I ask you about the wine that the Countess gave me? I'll admit I found it delicious, but it wasn't really wine, was it?
It was not. Cabernet was sort of our code word for blood, so we don't shock any innocents.
Cabernet is a human blood-based liquid that can replace traditional feeding for vampires unlike unprocessed blood, it has a long shelf life. Making Cabernet is a complicated and expensive process highly prone to error. More often than not, Cabernet batches fail, which is why it often requires copious amounts of human blood to create a small amount of product.
And then we just got used to it.
Basically, it's kind of like true
Funny
blood.
how language works, isn't it?
So, in a really weird way.
Yes. Funny. Arbin, I've only just been turned, and all of this is very new to me. May I trouble you for some advice?
I hope you don't mind me asking, but has someone in your family enjoyed wine a little too much?
Yes. My father. Wine, vodka, anything he can drink, really.
Well, that's
You
why
aren't
Dracula actually said, "I never drink the wine."
Everyone becomes a little clairvoyant if they live long enough and pay attention. I saw you drinking that glass earlier, and I think you should be careful around it, my dear.
Alcohol's my father's problem. It isn't mine.
It's not just alcohol you should be concerned about. You can keep away from it if you want. Blood, however, you will now have to drink, whether you like it or not.
Whether I like it or not.
Demons are hereditary, my dear. Always remember that.
Well, I should get going.
Good luck. I have a feeling we'll see each other soon.
I like Arbin.
Come on. Don't any of you cowards want to have any fun?
My lady, with all due respect, Russian roulette just seems like, too much fun for the night.
Fine. Get lost then. Be on your merry way. Who knew that the second time I die would be of boredom? Now, would you look at this pretty picture? I could barely recognize you from before. Where did you get this dress?
It's a gift from the Countess. She is very generous.
Huh. I thought it looked familiar. Name is Alisa, by the way.
Lisa, it's a pleasure. May I ask who was the young man you talked with earlier?
Who, Petya? Why, are you interested?
Goodness, no. I was just making conversation.
Don't be shy. We're not attached. Petya is human. I picked him up at the town market. He is a salesman. A ridiculously bad one at that.
If you two are not an item, may I ask why did you invite him over?
Because it was my turn.
A turn for what?
To spice up the eternity.
So, I've just been turned today.
Congratulations. That must be quite shocking. Thrilling, even. I'm envious, really.
Yes, thank you. I'm not quite sure how to process all this yet. What does one even do with this? Being dead, drinking blood, who knows what else?
Same thing anyone around here does. Masticating plain eternity day after day. Spicing it up any way you can.
Hence the Russian roulette.
We're already dead, aren't we? What else is there to lose? Do you fancy a round?
Maybe some other time.
Suit yourself.
So, it's true what they say? Vampires live forever?
We exist forever. We don't live. But then again, few do.
Does this mean that we can't, stop existing?
Oh, sweetheart, there is nothing easier. Just stop drinking blood for a few days, fall from a high roof, or just step into the sunlight.
I should probably be writing this all down.
So, now that you have eternity on your side, do you consider your existence more valuable?
I suppose infinite time does add some gravity to it.
I see. In that case, how would you compare the value of your new existence to, say, Petya's?
I'd have to say Petius. Like you said, what I have now isn't really life.
Fair enough. Still, it's an interesting thought experiment, isn't it?
Indeed. Excuse me. I think someone is calling for me.
Good timing. I just finished up.
Yes, how lucky.
Don't be snappy, Lisa. Smoking is an important routine for a soldier. Can't be interrupted. So, are there any other questions you have left for me?
What is going on in the basement of the manor? It's absolutely terrifying down there.
Oh yes, the basement. If I were you, I would just forget all about it.
Excuse me?
All I know is that Countess conducts her business and she doesn't enjoy people meddling in it.
If it's so confidential, how come I ended up there in the first place?
Minor oversight. You were supposed to be moved upstairs before you were up, but appears that you are an early riser.
And whose oversight was it, may I ask?
Let's not focus on casting blame, shall we? I say all's well that ends well. So, are there any other questions you have left for me?
Who ended up letting me out of the chamber?
If I'm honest, I haven't the foggiest idea. I thought you knew.
Well, I don't. And whoever it was gives me the goosebumps. On top of everything, I ended up promising them a favor and felt a bad burn on my shoulder right after that. Do you know what it could possibly be?
Let me take a look. Oh, brother.
What? What is it?
It could be nothing, really. No need to worry. Just make sure that you show this to the doctor when you see him, all right?
All right.
So, are there any other questions you have left for me?
If vampires are real, does this mean other fairy tales are?
You'll have to be more specific than that.
Rusalkas? Domovoys? Ghosts?
A Rusalka is a creature commonly associated with water possessing the visage of a young woman. Some regional folklore even describes its displaying characteristics of a Piscean nature, whilst older texts often speak of its benevolent nature guiding the harvest and spurring fertility. The Rusalka has become more frequently linked to death and drowning or restless spirits seeking revenge for wrongs committed.
Yes, no, yes. We'll spend all night here if we keep talking about flora and fauna. If you want my advice, focus on yourself first. That always ends up working for me. So, are there any other questions you have?
I suppose that's it for the time being.
Perfect. If you don't mind me asking,
maybe.
What do you make of all this? I take it you've done a couple laps around the ballroom. Learned a little more about what it's like to be one of us.
Well, for starters, I'm still dead, apparently. Dead.
Oh, get over it already. What's even the difference between being dead or alive? You can walk, you can talk, what else do you need?
What about my immortal soul?
See, I know you're that type, getting all bogged down in the details. It's a minor inconvenience, really, for everything that you get in return.
And what do we get in return?
All right. Have you read Thunderstorm?
Thunderstorm's a drama in 5 acts by Alexander Ostrovsky, written in 1859. The play follows Katerina, a young woman who had a happy life in childhood. However, after her marriage, she ends up in a harsh, tyrannical environment and becomes a metaphorical prisoner in her new home. One of the thematic questions Katerina poses in the play is why do not people fly just like birds?
Of course I did. Tragic story.
It sure is. Well, unlike Katerina in the play, you no longer need to wonder why people can't fly.
What? Jesus.
How did you do that?
It's a baby.
By sheer will, Lisa.
It's a winged baby.
How were you even talking with me in such a state?
That's yet another benefit of being one of us. We can project our thoughts into people's minds. I prefer it, really. I find normal speech kind of primitive.
Why don't you do it all the time then?
I'd love to, but you don't want to get too used to it and scare a human by accident. Now, why don't you try it? Let's see what kind of bat you are.
Goodness!
See, I'm a guppy.
Isn't this a hoot? Come on, I'll show you around.
Whee!
Seems like you're catching on. Follow me.
I can't believe I'm actually flying.
All this talk about death. Don't you feel more alive than you ever have right now? Shh. There. Look.
If only I had 3 coins to my name, then I'd show 'em. They'd all see.
Is this what you wanted to show me? A drunk peasant?
What I wanted to show you is how to use your new powers. Meet Trophime. He is the Countess's former serf, now custodian and coachman. Among other things, he makes sure no one
I swear
goes
his
in or
voice
out of
sounds
here
like
without
the
her
guy who
permission.
does Tail Foundry.
Important man. Now, come with me. How is life, Trophime?
My lord, is that you? Or the bottle you gave me? Highest quality. Much obliged.
I can see that. It's nearly empty already. All right, enough pleasantries. Watch this.
What happened to him? Is he all right?
He is fine. We call this enchantment.
What does enchantment do, exactly?
It makes people tranquil. While they are in trance, they don't feel pain or have a clear memory of what happened.
So they don't remember anything once they're enchanted?
Not quite.
What they refer to in the world of darkness is enthralled.
They may not remember what happened,
Or
but they won't
bloodlines.
forget how you made them feel.
Sounds like a subject for some awkward conversations.
You don't know the half of it yet. You'll see.
So, how do I enchant someone? I don't know if I can whistle like you.
Don't worry. Whistling is just for me. It's like a cure for the hiccups. Everybody has their own way. When you need it, it will come to you.
Does this mean you can just come up to anybody and make them tranquil?
In theory, but it's not quite that simple. Firstly, they have to like you, an important condition. Without it, the charm won't work. Secondly, you should only do it to humans.
So it doesn't work on other vampires.
I didn't say that.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. What? Kill what? Welcome back. Welcome back, buddy.
There are rumors
There-
that the
there
best
was
of the
a,
best can
mytholo-
indeed enchant their own kind.
Yeah.
But I don't even know if the Countess has that kind of power. Besides, this would certainly not be considered ethical by our vampire brothers and sisters.
I bet they wouldn't mind to have that power, though.
Oh, without a doubt.
So why would you want to enchant someone?
I thought you might ask that. There are 2 main reasons. 1. People in a trance are easily suggestible. You can use that to influence their thoughts and opinions.
And what is the second reason?
I think you already know.
What have you done?
I just opened him up for you. Don't worry, he'll be just fine unless we bleed him dry. Come here. It's time for you to learn how to feed.
I don't know if I'm ready.
You're as ready as you'll ever.
How do I turn?
Just relax and let your instincts take over. It will come naturally.
My mouth, it's bleeding.
Of course, I forgot to warn you. Sorry. Don't worry, it's normal. That happens when your fangs are out for the first time.
First time a newly turned vampire takes their true form and unleashes their fangs, their gums stop bleeding profusely, releasing some of the stale leftover blood from the human body. And by the way, this is actually really interesting because you can actually look stuff up, you know.
It will recover in a minute.
Yeah.
His skin smells like wild berries.
According to the Lord, exactly.
But not just the smell. The promise of warmth that draws you. The promise of being whole. I want to feel it on my teeth, in my body. No, I can't do this. I don't think I can do it. I'm sorry.
All right. But if the Countess asks, promise you'll say that you've done it. I don't want to get in trouble because you chickened out.
I promise.
Remember, you have to learn to do it to survive. I better get back to my other errands. Don't want to get my tunic wet. Do you remember the way back?
I do. Hussar? Thank you for your help. I had a rough day and it means a lot to me.
Don't mention it. I ended up having a decent time myself. I'll see you soon.
I should get back to the manor and talk with the Countess. I'll process this all later. Where will I live? What's next? There's so much I have to sort out first. But first, Hussar said I can influence someone who is enchanted. I should try it on Trophine. Can you hear me, Trophine? Here is something I'd like you to do. You will start pacing your drinking. I'd rather not walk through the woods on foot.
Whee! The hell? What was that?
What was that? Looks like the banquet is over. Someone is still inside, though.
I don't understand. How could this even happen?
Do you have no self-control at all?
It's Petya's doll, Matilda. This is so unsettling. What is this? My God!
Can't say we didn't see that coming.
What the hell happened here?
It's all Victoria's fault. I told her he's almost empty, but she wouldn't listen.
What do you want from me? I was starving, and you two barely left me anything.
Doesn't matter now. We drained a man. Not anywhere, but at the Countess's manor. Someone is gonna fry for this, and it sure as hell won't be me.
Are you mad? No one's going to be executed for this. He's just a human.
That's tragic, of course, but accidents happen, don't they?
Easy for you to say. You're not the one who will have to explain this to Elisa and the Countess.
Come with me, my dear. This is not your mess to sort out.
Locked.
Yeah, exactly.
Those morons. I knew I couldn't leave them alone with him.
I just can't seem to make sense of it. I talked with Petya not even an hour ago.
I'm so sorry. He didn't need to die today.
What happens now?
Well, the Countess won't like this one bit. I can tell you that much.
Is she sympathetic to humans?
I wouldn't say that. However, she doesn't like murders being linked up to her property. She will find her way out of this, no doubt. But those three in the ballroom, we'll have to see.
Back in the room, they said someone will be fried. What does that mean?
You set out to the sun,
I don't know if you've heard
probably.
this yet, but we can't be in the sun. It destroys us.
I did read about that in the folk tales.
The stories are true. Sometimes it's used as a form of capital punishment for our kind.
What do you think will happen to those three outside?
Murdering a human, sadly, isn't a big crime in our community. I don't think it will come to that. If I had my guess, I'd say they will get their fangs dulled for troubling the Countess. They will grow back after a month or two, but before then, they will have to feed solely on Cabernet, and it isn't cheap.
What if they can't afford it?
They will just have to find a way. Some take loans, some steal. Without blood, we are like humans without water.
Arbin?
Yes?
Do you know what will happen to me now? I don't even know who I am anymore. What do I do? Where do I live?
I understand it's not an easy day. We all went through. All the answers will come at the right time. For now, you just need to wait it out till someone sends for you.
I must admit, I feel quite restless.
Listen, not many of us might say this to you, so I want to do it. Being one of us doesn't just mean hurting people for your own benefit. It doesn't have to be. To me, it means that I have an eternity to become better, learn from my mistakes,
This is why I like
absorb
her.
the knowledge about the world.
I suppose that's one way to look at it.
You know, the Countess has a wonderful library over here. Why don't you grab a book and use this time to learn something new? Perfection comes in little steps.
Thank you for all your help and kindness, Arbin. It feels really good to have a friend around here.
I know it can't be easy for you right now in all this madness. It's hard to adjust. I learned that the hard way. Trust me. Here, I want you to have this.
Okay, we gotta pause for the cause right there because it is an ad break time. Ad break time. Ad break time. So it is something we have to do. So I can navigate away from here for just a moment. I see that Namen is on. I'm just trying to see if I have a raid target that's going to be around a hot minute. Everything seems to be good. Just checking on everything. Hope y'all are enjoying this game. I seem to be enjoying it quite a bit myself. In fact, I'm probably not going to have time for much else. But we're going to get to each of those demos going forward. And we've got through 2 today. I'm sorry to cut it so short, but I'm trying to do this in bits and bites. And I'm very excited. If those of you on YouTube, I am sorry for the pause in the action, but unfortunately, it's something that we have to do when it comes to the Twitch guys. Let me drop my YouTube link right quick for those of you that are not following me on the YouTube. But yeah, this is probably going to be the only other game that I do tonight. Just to let you guys know, it's not because I lack energy. I'm actually enjoying the hell out of this game, and I'll probably play it for another hour or better. I don't know how much longer the demo goes, but I'm already going to say, yes, I'm going to put this on my wish list. Because it's a different take on the vampire lore, and it's actually educational while it goes on too, which I really like. Really like their take on it. It kind of reminds me of Vampire in a way. I think it's something that I could really get into for spooky time. I also have the Ravenous Souls demo as well, that is based off spooky time. So both of those games might be really good for spooky time. Just a heads up, I am going to be, like I said, I'm going to be shifting to evening streaming, and that is a case-by-case basis. It depends on how work goes and stuff. I might be too tired. My streaming days for sure is going to be Saturdays for sure. And we're back to after the ad break. And I will tell you this, once we get once we get our ETA for when we move, there might be a lull, and there might be a break in the streaming until we get moved and get set up and everything like that. And then that setup will be quite different from what I have right now. Also, to just kind of give y'all a heads up, and here's an update. Dawn's already making a bid on a house, so I don't know how quick this is going to be. Anyway, back to this. And somehow
it's not going to last long, but it will give you a little peace of mind for the time being. I should go now, my dear. You know where to find me.
Mm-hmm.
Next time, a drink at my bar is on me.
I'll be looking forward to it.
Basically, what it is that you can't. Well, let's see.
My fault. Stop blaming me for everything.
I should see what all this ruckus is about.
Should you really? I don't know.
This is fresh. What in the world caused this? My God, what happened here?
Idiots being punished for their own stupidity.
Did you kill them?
I took that snake's fangs out. We'll see how she does now. I wasn't sure what to do when I saw him, but then I thought about something you said earlier.
Really? What was it?
That mortal life has the same value as eternal existence. I don't know if it's true, but it certainly helped me find my rage. Still, this isn't going to bring him back.
I'm so sorry about Petya. He seemed like such a nice boy.
It was always a risk. Life goes on. Whatever it is we have. But thank you. You must be curious about what happens to you now.
I'd be lying if I said otherwise.
The way it works is that you get assigned to the one who turned you for the apprenticeship. I believe you are the doctor's disciple.
I don't really remember much before I woke up. The doctor. He was a traveling doctor that came to the city, wasn't he? He was a vampire?
He certainly was. It will all come back eventually. Don't worry about it now.
Death amnesia, a commonly known side effect of being turned into a vampire and is forgetting the circumstances of one's own death. Telling someone the details of their turning is discouraged by higher society as it may cause additional trauma during the already uneasy transition. More often than not, the memory of one's own death tends to return within the first year of becoming a vampire. However, in certain cases, death amnesia may last decades. According to the lore.
Countess has a coachman.
When I play this all the way through, I'm going to do it according to the lore.
He is rough around the edges, but you can learn a lot from him.
May I speak with the Countess herself?
You need to be a little more important for that to happen. Trust me, she'll send for you soon. She has errands for us all. You will be no exception.
I'll be ready whenever she needs me.
Like a good dog, aren't you?
Oops.
You should go. Trophime will be waiting for you, and the sun is not getting any lower. I've unlocked the door by the balcony. It'll lead you to the stairs and outside. Hey, Lisa?
Yes?
Never mind.
All right, then.
By the way, I've been meaning to ask you, could you please take this ugly doll with you? I can't keep looking into its dead eyes.
Does it remind you of Petya?
Just take it with you, please.
All right, I will.
Thanks.
I swear it just blinked. They must have taken Petya's body away. Lord only knows what they'll do to it. They must have taken Petya's body away. Lord only knows what they'll do to it.
I get the feeling that's part of what we're hearing downstairs. Which one is it? And there we go. That is the end of the demo. So it was actually a lot of fun. I actually enjoyed that. I'm definitely going to put this. It's already on wish list actually. I'll be honest with you, I'm definitely gonna buy it. I enjoyed the hell out of that, and in all seriousness, I played that for an hour and it already established so much. Oh wow, that's actually really cheap for Coach Landlord. They're having another big sale. It's like yeah, $20 is not bad for that. $20 ain't bad for that though. What the end up? Did I not put that in the thing? It said that it's in the thing. No, I said it wrong here. It's acting like I have it, but I don't have it. Now I don't know if I want that on my wish list or not, so those work out. Anyway. Yeah, I don't see it. Weird. Anyway, oh, there it is. Should move that to the demo. Sure. I missed one. Yeah, I mean, yeah, $20 ain't bad for that game. It really isn't. Next time actually, you know what? Next time we stream, this may be Friday content actually. I may do some more demo stuff for Friday, and pull this and this out. I'll have more time to do it. Then that way, you know, we'll have, you know, better options. See more stuff. Question is, who are we going to raid out to? Let's see how long Almon's been on. Fuck it. Let's do that. I usually don't end out this early, but I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm a little tired. But that game ended up being really, really fun. I meant for it to go on a little longer, but you know, demo is as demo does, you know. The Mundo. Yes, we go right to the Mundo. Let me grab that carefully. Demo. Before I forget. Yes, we're going to raid out to Armando Alejandro Rodriguez, otherwise known as Gnome Rose. Your chocolate husbando is playing the final of the fantasy. I appreciate you guys being here, hanging out, lurking, enjoying the stream. It is a very cozy stream today, and that's how I kind of want to run it. You know, this is kind of how what we're going to do, just because, you know. And for those of you on the UF Tubes, I will catch you on Friday, same bat time, same bat channel, and we're signing off from YouTube, right?